Okay, so we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So please be seated, and now we're going to introduce the national anthems being sung by Miriam, Blancas, Martinez.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Is that good? I think we approved it.
Welcome, class of 2020. I want to start things off by saying that I really don't know what to say. I wish that we were all here in the amphitheater together celebrating this amazing accomplishment with our loved ones, but unfortunately, nature had a different plan. I know that the last thing you want to hear right now is that this won't be the first time nature will have a different plan for us. But this is most definitely a true statement. But here is the good news. Every time plans go awry, we have the opportunity to discover a new and innovative path forward. We have the ability to right a wrong and make things better than they were in the past. To me, and to many around the world, this will be the legacy of the class of 2020. You will be remembered as the group of citizens who were the first to take the initial steps into the post-pandemic world. While this may seem a bit scary on the surface, please know that you are absolutely prepared for this moment. Guajome's mission is that through innovation and excellence, we will inspire and empower all learners to become critically thinking, compassionate, global citizens who approach the world with curiosity, courage, and resolve. Every aspect of your educational experience has been centered on this mission. As a result, no group of graduates are more prepared to go out and tackle the challenges that our world faces. The graduating class of 2020 is not only built to survive these challenges, they are built to thrive and make the world a better place. You have grit, you are determined, and you will provide equitable solutions and answers that will serve the needs of all people. For this, I am extremely optimistic and grateful. Thank you to the families, teachers, staff, and students who have worked so hard to help make the graduating class of 2020 so special. In conclusion, there have been some tremendous graduation speeches over the past couple of weeks. President Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Malala, and Apple CEO Tim Cook have all provided very important words to the class of 2020. Of all the words that I read, though, my favorite have come from LeBron James. He says, "Class of 2020, I know the last thing you want to hear right now is stay home. That's not my message to you. My message is stay close to home. Maybe not physically, but in every other way possible. Pursue every ambition. Go as far as you can possibly dream and be the first generation to embrace a new responsibility. A responsibility to rebuild your community. Class of 2020, the world has changed. You will determine how we rebuild, and I ask that you make your community your priority. Congratulations, class of 2020. I love all of you, and remember one thing, you're all kings and queens. I want to say, class of 2020, we will miss you, kings and queens, but it is your time right now. You are ready, and you will succeed. Thank you. Before we continue on with our graduation ceremony, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the hard work of our valedictorian and our salutatorian. The valedictorian for the class of 2020 is Karylle Davalos. Congratulations, Karylle. Our salutatorian will be Kainani Takazon. Congratulations, Kainani. And now, I would like to introduce Vicky DeVito.
Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's strange to be here doing this today because this graduation is what we've all been looking forward to since we were in middle school or even before. But before I share what I'd like to impart today, I do have to acknowledge quite a few people, actually. Each of my family members, especially my parents, has contributed to who I am in a very unique and different ways. My father has always encouraged me to do whatever I wanted to do or be whoever I wanted to be, even if that was making silly pretend movie trailers when I was bored at his house during the summer and then turning that into a video production website. My stepfather, Chris, has always been there for me for whatever I needed from him, even if that was just a ride home from school or to put up a shelf in my room. My mother is one of the bravest and strongest people I know, and I always try whenever I have the opportunity to be as courageous as she is. My stepmother, Sam, has taught me more about sweetness, kindness, and thoughtfulness than I think I ever wanted to know. They have made me who I am more than anyone else. And my sister's mother, Basha, has been one of my best friends for almost as long as I can remember. And for her sweetness and devotion to always having snacks whenever I am with her, I am grateful. Both my sisters have given me great advice over the years, and I'm incredibly appreciative of all the good times we have had. I can't wait until we are together again. I also want to thank some people right here at Guajome, especially, but definitely not limited to Ms. Guillet, Ms. Ritchie, and Ms. Tran, who have not only been my teachers, but some of my best friends. And thank you to Ms. Kristek for always answering my questions and helping me navigate this high school experience. I also want to give a big thank you to my class of 2020. Thank you for making these years on this campus amazing and challenging in so many different ways. And thank you for making this high school experience with me. I know this sounds cliche, but when I first stepped foot on campus around 7 years ago after my parents decided Guajome was the place for me, I immediately knew this was a place where I was going to make a lot of memories in the next chapter of my life, and you have proved me right over and over again, so thank you. Something that I think a lot about, which is kind of relevant as we're about to go off into the world and decide what kind of jobs we want to have and what kind of people we want to be, is leadership. I get called a student leader a lot because I'm in ASB, our student government, and I'm the executive treasurer for the ASB. Some of us are club presidents or sports captains. Most of the times I get called a student leader, though, I think I'm not a leader. I'm just a kid trying to get through high school, and I volunteered to do a job that I thought I could do well. I can think of many people in ASB who I'm supposed to be leading who are much more effective at taking charge than I am. And that's fine to have those stereotypical leaders. But the problem is defining leadership can make other people feel like they can't be leaders. So I find problematic this notion, not really as much about ASB, that being a leader is somehow defined by your job title, or that it can be proven by things like how many votes you get in an election or how much money you have. Really, there are different types of leaders, and anyone should be able to be any kind of leader they want. Those of you who had Miss Richardson, do you remember watching the movie Wonder? I think what I'm talking about speaks a lot to how Augie Pullman felt at the end of the movie. If you guys don't remember, beware of spoilers. But Augie gets an award at the end of his 5th grade year for just getting through the year because of this really unusual facial structure that he has. And he feels like he doesn't totally deserve it. He says himself all he really did was get through 5th grade. But he gets a standing ovation receiving this award because to his classmates, him getting through 5th grade meant something. They learned things about themselves through him. Well, we're a little past 5th grade, and our teachers, Mr. Tashaw, would say, we're not in little school anymore. But I think there's still a lesson to be learned. We can all lead by just being ourselves because who we are may be a great help or inspiration to someone else, even if to ourselves we're just ordinary. And besides, there's really no use in being anybody else because they already exist. So the only thing I want to impart on you guys today is just once you figure out who you are, stick with that and keep it going. And when that gets too hard, just be kind. If being who we are can be that simple, then I think we can make a lot of things better. Thank you. And now I have the pleasure to introduce my great friend, Isabella Joyner, who will be our next senior speaker.
To the class of 2020, to the people we have spent the last 4 years getting to know and becoming friends with, to the teachers who helped guide us so that we could be here today, to the coaches who helped push us far beyond what we thought we were capable of, and lastly to the family members who are watching us receive our diplomas, knowing the struggle and the hardships it took to get us here. We did it. We finished. After 4 long years, countless hours, many breakdowns, and multiple nights of cramming for a test the next day, we made it to the end. We've laughed with each other, we've cried with each other, we've even been annoyed with one another. But through all of that, we persisted, and we made it to the end. I don't feel I can give any of us advice on the real world, as I haven't been out there yet. However, what I can say is I know we're all capable of succeeding in the adult world. We all have special talents and gifts, which sounds cliche, I know, but it doesn't mean it isn't true. And if we use them together instead of competing, then we can make a real difference in this world. We will become a class defined by our actions, not by our circumstances. We will use this pandemic to help change the world in an insanely positive way. I know this isn't the graduation any of us imagined or planned, but we do what we do best. We push through the hard times. As a class of 2020, I know it's felt like we've gotten the short end of the stick sometimes, and it especially feels like it now. However, every time we as a class have come across a challenge, we have faced it head on and have never shied away from anything. We are one of the toughest classes I know. As Jesse Jackson once said, hold your head high, stick your chest out. You can make it. It gets dark sometimes, but mornings come. Keep hope alive. It seems like right now is one of those dark times, but I have hope that we'll see each other again, we'll laugh with each other, and hold each other again. I keep asking myself, if I knew my last day on campus was my last, would I do anything differently? And every time I come to the same conclusion. No, I wouldn't. I say no because on that last day, I laughed with my friends and we dreamt of what our futures held. We worried about due dates and grades, and we were talking about college visits. We weren't sad or crying that senior year had come to a halt. We were enjoying each other's company. So I ask you, class of 2020, would you do anything differently that day, or would you keep it the same and hold on to those memories? Our time here at Guajome almost feels unfinished, but that doesn't mean the diplomas we will receive mean any less, because we have all worked insanely hard to earn them. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it. Now, I'd like to introduce Jackie Shao with a special song dedicated to the class of 2020.
Dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep my held high. There's always gonna be another gonna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, keep the faith. It's all about the And now, for our final senior speaker, I present to you Nick Pirra.
What's poppin', my Guajome homies? About 4 years ago, when I was a freshman, the head captain of our wrestling team at the time was Adriel Ramirez. One day, we were rolling in the mats from a spring practice, and it had been rough, and my spirits were definitely not up. I was sad by the seniors of that year leaving. My teammates who I had bonded with were now going to graduate, just like us today. But Adriel told me something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. He looked at me, and he said, "Nick, don't forget to have fun, because these next few years are going to fly by without you noticing, and you don't want to look back and only remember hardship and disappointment." These words haven't meant anything until you think of all the memories associated with them. Memories such as Mrs. Richardson's English class sophomore year, which was filled with debates and inspiring conversations, or PE freshman year, when I met some of the friends that I will never lose, or Mrs. Hamill's chemistry class sophomore year, when we burned Cheetos that still looked delicious even when we were done. Or for very few of us, Mr. Tashoff's class last year, when Soren stuck his hand in a tube where it surely didn't belong. All of these memories would never have been possible if I didn't listen to Adriel's advice and focus on the good things that have happened in the past 4 years of our high school career. I know things aren't going the way all of us wanted them to, and I'm sure when we were younger, having school shut down would have been a dream come true, but right now it feels more of a curse than a blessing. We might not ever get the closure we want or deserve from high school, since we never got the events that seniors look forward to, like a real prom, not a sad virtual one, senior breakfast, senior clap out, the senior prank, and maybe even our mural, but these missing moments aren't what define us as people or as a class. We're the class that, against all odds, has beaten every challenge we have come across. We're the class that has passed math for the past 7 years and chemistry and stayed out of trouble as much as we can. We're the last class that Mr. Thompson taught. We're the first senior class to break the class color tradition. We're the class that, despite everything against us, is still here getting our diploma. With all this adversity, there will never be a soul in this world to challenge the authenticity of our graduation and whether or not we earned it. As my coach would say, through adversity, we achieve success. By persevering through all of these challenges, we show the world what we are made of. We show them that we are not average. We, in fact, are anything but average. And we show this every day by being the best we can be. So it doesn't matter where we're going to go when high school is over. Some of us will go to college, others to the military. The rest of us will go straight into working and be productive members of our society. For our class, it doesn't matter where we're going after high school, because in the end, we're all doing the same thing. After all, we're the class that is going to change the world. And trust me, that title is well earned for our class of 2020 at Guajome Park Academy.
Hello, class of 2020. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak at your graduation, and more importantly, thank you for the many years of joy you have brought into my life. I hope that you are all aware that you as individuals, and also as a class, have filled my heart with countless memories in which I will cherish forever. As teachers, we try to impart so many pieces of advice during the brief time we have you in our lives. Sometimes you are completely with us in that journey, while many other times you just want us to stop talking and give you just one free period. But we teachers are relentless in our pursuit to transmit knowledge and wisdom. Every day, every lesson, whether you want it or not. Why? I think we've all asked ourselves that at some point, though I believe it is because of the potential that lies inside of all of you. See, as teachers, we look at you and we see infinite possibilities for all of your many talents and want to push you as much as possible to reach that. It's what's so aggravating about us at times. We never seem to be satisfied. The minute you master something, we challenge you to write more, think deeper, present better, play more difficult compositions, solve harder equations, and so on. But graduates, I hope you understand that we teachers, as well as your parents, your coaches, your bosses, your friends, we have pushed you over the years because we believe in you. We believe in you so very much. In your moments of success, we have seen just a glimpse of your intelligence, your creativity, and your generosity. And in moments of struggle, we knew that with time and effort and grit, you would ultimately triumph and transform into a better, stronger version of yourself. You have listened to me a lot over the past few years, a lot. Possibly a few too many times for your liking, but regardless, when given the opportunity to speak with you one last time, I pondered what final words I wanted to leave with you. I thought a little bit about myself at your age. And in high school, I had a poster on my wall. Okay, I had a lot of posters, but I'm not about to admit what they all were. I had a poster on my wall with a quote which has stuck with me over the past few years. The poster I speak of was of the runner Steve Prefontaine with a quote, "To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." Now, as a runner, this was extremely motivational, pushing me to train harder, run faster, and run further. But it became much more than that. Over the years, I've applied this quote to so many areas of my life and has vaulted me to opportunities and experiences that I never could have imagined. Anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Graduates, you are the gift. Your existence is a miracle, and I urge you not to spend a moment of it on anything but your best. Some aspects of your gift you might already recognize inside yourself, while others are still yet to be unveiled. To realize all of those strengths, you must give your best in all facets of your life. Give your best when writing an essay or studying for a final at 2 a.m. Give your best when listening to a friend in need. Give your best when practicing an instrument or learning to cook a new dish. Give your best when working on a group project, especially with those you disagree with. Give your best when speaking to strangers who you will never see again. Give your best when you become employees, even if it is not at your dream job. Give your best when you become a partner, and again, when you become a parent. Much like the times we live in, your life is fluid and malleable, and neither you nor I have any idea what wonderful things you will achieve in the future. And you will never know how amazing you can be at something without giving your all to everything. So please remember, students of the wonderful class of 2020, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And you are a gift. Thank you. And now the presentation of the class of 2020.
Mr. Llamas, I hereby present the Guajome Learning Center's class of 2020.
I hereby acknowledge that the students receiving their diplomas today have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the State of California and Guajome Learning Centers.
And here are the names of the graduating class for GLC, the class of 2020. Shea Backey, Cynthia Balderas, Shepard Baucom, Christina Cable, Janine Canseco, Mina Delgado, Bradley Dorsey, Liliana Flores Herrera, William Franciscus, Juan Gutierrez, Monica Hernandez, Eric Lopez Garcia, Jillian Lugo, Edwin Morales, Brianna Nares, Mallory Payan Gill, Lily Payo, Christopher Rios, Annette Rojas Valenzuela, Samantha Santana Meza, Edgar Sevilla Orozco, Sara E. Teo, Aurelie Torres, Jonathan Torres, Zachary Waller, Carly Wood, and Carter Wright.
Ms. McAfee, I hereby present the Guajome Park Academy class of 2020.
I hereby acknowledge that the students receiving their diplomas today have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the state of California and Guajome Park Academy.
Gia Agujar, Jonathan Alanis, Ryan Alexander, Christian Alvarez, Edalberto Antonio, Ashley Arenas, Chris Arenas, Alexis Barajas, Eric Bazan, Nathan Beecher, Jacob Bigwood, Miriam Blancas Martinez, Ethan Bodine, Simon Bojanak, Karylle Burrell, Ulysses Camacho Cazares, Isabel Camacho, Olivia Carabajal, Destiny Cardenas, Flavio Cerda, Dominic Cerruti, Gunnar Clark, Daniela Cornejo, Kyle Creighton, Jacob Preversere, Esperanza Cruz, Karylle Davalos, Victoria DeVito, Elisa Diaz, Amanda Dominguez, Brisa Edwards, Ailey Estrada, Jasmine Figueroa, Trinity Flores, Rocio Franco Luna, Justice Fry, Areli Galicia, Yaneli Galicia, Miguel Garcia Vecida, Alexis Garcia, Kimberly Garcia, Joshua Gershon.
Cesar Gomez Reyes, AJ Grant, Jacob Hamblin, Ashley Hatfield, Dolores Hernandez Sanchez, Daniel Hernandez, Jose Iniguez, Nyla Iniguez, Zachary Jensen, Isabella Joyner, Wysenia Jones, Jorge Caras, Dage Lee, Trevor Leffler Streeter, Jocelyn Leone, Ariana Lopez, Victoria Lugan, Kevin Luna, Nayeli Luna, Jimmy Martinez, Lily Martinez, Muriel Meacham, Timothy Medina, Mary Moidano, Brian Mall, Gustavo Monaco. Mackenzie Nick. Cindy Nunez. Kevin Olea Ramirez. Jordan Ornstein Turner. Jonathan Ortiz Ramirez. Joshua Ortiz Ramirez.
Joseph Perez. Nicholas Pirra. Logan Potter. Richard Pringle. Olivia Pryor. Daniel Rangel. Tanya Rendon. Austin Ross. Janet Ruiz. Victor Sanchez Leon. Emily Schultz. Noemi Serrano. Jacqueline Shao. Brisa Samancas. Gabriel Sorby. Daniela Soria Guillen. Guadalupe Soto Gonzalez. Brandon Sullivan. Raylyn Swanson. Kainani Takazan. Sarai Tapia Rodriguez. Timothy Turhal. Jose Valentin Salazar. Jasmine Velasquez. Eric Villa. Alex Villegas Silva. John White. Jessica Zafra Lopez. Adriana Zafra.
Graduates and classmates, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2020.